But we don't need them, because here, on our stage, is the stand-up conqueror of the world. Can you please make him welcome Danny Bhoy?
Thank you. Thank you. I haven't done anything yet. Thank you, yes, folks. I am still here, as you can tell. I'd like to talk to you a little bit tonight about technology, because I'm getting a bit annoyed at people getting very dramatic at the fact I don't have broadband. So, have you got broadband, Danny? No, I don't. Oh, you're living in the dark ages. Piss off. And shut the drawbridge on your way out. Even the entertainment side of technology. I had to give up my PlayStation last year. I was finding it difficult to differentiate between the real world and the computer world. And there's nothing worse than getting behind the wheel of your real car thinking you've got 3 lives. And it's okay to shoot prostitutes. The joke for the people that have got Grand Theft Auto 3 there. Now, email. Email is a thing that really annoys me, because you know, you don't have time to consider your own responses. Remember the old days of letter writing, right? Someone wrote you a letter, you'd read it, you'd go, oh, I can't believe he's written that. And you'd write back in anger, you know, you go, how dare you talk to me like that. This is the very old days. When... You shall never marry my daughter, sire. Then you'd fold it up and you'd go down to the post office, but by the time you got there, you'd go, oh, I'm not going to send that, it's a bit rude. But now with email, you see, you can reply straight away. You know, someone writes something nasty and you reply, yes, I want to reply. How dare you talk to me like that? I've slept with your best friend, and send. And then shit, is that gone? Is that gone? Oh, no, escape, turn off TV. But you know, my mum did that. She sent me an email and she phoned me up the next day and said, Danny, I sent you an email when I was drunk. I hope you didn't get it. You shouldn't have got it. I pulled the plug out the wall. I had to pretend I didn't get it. I said, oh, no, Mum, I didn't get it. No. I still think he's my real dad. Oh, yeah. Let's applaud the fact that Danny might be adopted. That's hilarious. That one. Good. No, but I got an email questionnaire the other day, and this hits at the heart of the problem, you know, because I didn't have time to consider my response. It was an email questionnaire simply asking me some questions for a local newspaper, and one of the questions was, Danny, name 2 of your favourite little things in life. And I answered quite honestly. I said, you know, I travel around a lot, and one of the things I like when I get to a new hotel is that the bed's always nice and freshly made, you know, and you just sort of, you know, well, I have to say, I've noticed in a lot of Australian hotels, for some reason they think everyone's like a millimetre thick, and you just squeeze into the thing. You feel like you're being faxed. Stay in the one position all night. Yeah, that'll do, mate. Okay, good. No, but I like that. I like that kind of crisp, fresh linen feeling when you just... It's quite maternal, almost. Even before your mum gets in. I mean, it's like a nice... Hey, I did that gag in Tasmania, and they went, yeah, what's your problem, mate? No, I didn't. Who loves you, Tasmania? No, but I like that. And the other thing I said I really like is bonfires. Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved a bonfire, right? Nice big bonfire. And so I sent this. And then an hour later, I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I've just written 2 of my favourite things in life. Crisp white linen against my face and bonfires. People are going to think I'm a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Yes. Yeah, great, yes. Adopted and a racist. Lovely. What a combination. No, but I'll leave it. You know, one other question I got asked, I'll leave you with this, is in this email questionnaire was, have I had any embarrassing experiences travelling around Australia? I've been here a while now. And one came to mind above all others. And that was, I flew on a flight, this is an absolutely true story, I flew from Perth to Kalgoorlie. Yeah, live the dream, Danny. And I flew from Perth to Kalgoorlie. And I sat, this old kind of big miner guy sat next to me. Not a giant child, like the pick miners. And he sat next to me. That would have been a bit weird. No, he sat next to me, and he, 10 minutes into the flight, he reached into his satchel, this old guy, and he pulled out a hardcore pornographic magazine. Hardcore. You know the difference. You know the difference. And he's flicking through it, cool and calm as you like, this guy, right? Quick flick, and now that kind of somewhat distracted me from my in-flight magazine. My article on Aboriginal art. So I started complaining, but interestingly, I didn't complain in the way Australians would complain. You know, that, mate, that's disgusting. Put it away, mate. Good sight, mate. Put it away. It's disgusting. That's how I think you talk. But look, I complained in the classic British fashion, right? I start going, he's reading a hardcore porn mag. I'm going, and he had the audacity to turn to me and say, "You got a problem, mate?" I said, "Well, come on, you know, this is a busy flight. It's also a long flight. Don't you think that's a little bit rude?" And I swear to God, he thought about it for a minute and went, "Oh, yeah, you're probably right." And then he pushed the porn mag in between us. Happy now, mate. Happy now. Thanks very much for listening, folks. It's been great.
Danny Bhoy. He's at the Opera House for the next 2 weeks. Go and see him in the gorgeous flesh. Danny Bhoy, ladies and gentlemen.